What's up everyone? On today's video, we're going over everything you need to know before moving to Belmar, New Jersey. We're going to cover a couple different topics like the commute to New York City or Philadelphia for work, the location, the beach, and a few others. If this is your first time to the channel though, my name is Steve McCutcheon and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. On the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you want to be the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. Coming in at point number one is going to be the location of Belmar. So as you can see from the photo popping up real fast, Belmar is going to be along the Jersey Shore, so the east coast of New Jersey, but also in like the southeastern part of Monmouth County. It's going to border a few different towns like Avon, Spring Lake, or Wall, just kind of name a few. And it's a small town in terms of size for New Jersey, but it's also like a normal size for like a shore town itself. So it comes in at 1.6 square miles and has just under 5,900 residents. The two major roadways you're going to see go through it are Route 35 and Route 71. But right outside of there are a couple other major ones like Route 195, Route 18, and also the Garden State Parkway. The four routes I mentioned, those are all going to be non-toll roads, whereas the Garden State Parkway is going to be a toll road and one of the major highways in New Jersey. It brings you north to south, gets you all the way from like near New York City all the way down to Atlantic City. Point number two is going to be commute to work. And most importantly, you can get to either New York City or Philadelphia. It's one of the great parts about living in Belmar. Starting with New York City real fast though, if you want to drive yourself, it's going to take you anywhere from about like an hour and a half, I'd say, up to possibly 2 hours. Google is going to be a little faster than that, at least on the maps if you look it up. But you got to really account for the traffic and other things that happen, bad weather, all that kind of stuff. So I would say on a good day, you're probably looking at about like an hour and a half. And then maybe on like a really bad day, you're looking at an hour 45 to 2 hours. I will say though, during the summer times, that will change slightly. So during the summer, obviously on a Friday afternoon, you're gonna hit a ton of traffic from people coming from New York City down into Belmar. It's a very high touristy area. So that can run you, no joke, my father-in-law lives in Howell, which isn't too far from there. It sometimes gets in about 2.5, 3 hours trip. So it can go a little farther, but that's really going to be about like 3 months out of the year. The other option getting to New York City is going to be taking the train, and that's about 2 hours just using NJ Transit. The only caveat though is when you hop on the train in Belmar, you will have to get off in Long Branch just to swap onto a different train, and that'll take you all the way into New York City. So it's roughly about a 2 hour commute taking a train. Hopping on over into Philadelphia, the only main option realistically is going to be driving yourself. The bus that they have is going to take you roughly 3 hours, at least through NJ Transit. I don't know if there's another line or another company that will help do that. So just taking NJ Transit, that's a 3 hour bus drive. If you're going to be driving yourself, it's roughly about the same commute time as if you're going into New York City. The difference is just going to be the route you take. Obviously, Philadelphia is going to be more out west, and then New York's going to be north. So what you have to do is hop on Route 195. You could take that pretty much all the way out to like the Turnpike or 295, and that's going to run you about like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. So either way you look at it, you can get to New York City or Philadelphia relatively pretty easy and in the same amount of time. Point number three is going to be the school system and education throughout Belmar. So Belmar being a smaller shore town as it is, it actually only has one school in it, and that's going to be Belmar Elementary. It handles kindergarten through 8th grade. According to niche.com, it's rated a B+, holds roughly 400 students, and has a 7-to-1 student-teacher ratio. When you're moving on to high school though, the Belmar kids are going to get districted over to Manasquan High School. So Manasquan's kind of like that more regional one in that area, where it's going to handle a lot of the different Jersey Shore towns. Manasquan, according to niche.com, is also going to be rated an A. Houses just under about like 1,000 students and a 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio. If you're looking for more of a private option, or you just don't want to send your kids out of town to go to high school, you can actually send them to St. Rose High School. This is going to be located in Belmar. According to niche.com, they're rated an A-, roughly house about 400 students, and have a 11-to-1 student-teacher ratio. The one thing here though is going to be the tuition. It's estimated for the 2024-2025 school year. It's going to run you about $15,000. Point number four is going to be different housing options throughout Belmar. So this is going to be my personal favorite, obviously being in real estate, but there are some differences when you're buying in Belmar than if you're buying in other parts of Monmouth County. So let me just kind of go run you through that a little bit fast. First one's going to be the lot size. Obviously, if you're in a beach town, houses are going to be on top of each other a lot closer because that's where a lot of the economy for New Jersey is. It's in the shore, it's in the beaches, boardwalks, that kind of stuff. So a normal lot size, let's just say in Belmar, is going to be roughly like 50 by 100, 50 by 150. So you're looking at like maybe like a 1/10 of an acre at the very most. If you're in like more of a western town in Monmouth County, like Freehold, Marlborough, Manalapan, Millstone, for instance, you can be sitting on half an acre, 2 acres, even more than that sometimes. So that will vary greatly. Obviously, if you're buying a bigger home in Belmar, the lot's going to have to be bigger just for the permits and requirements by code. But majority of the time, you're looking at probably like a 50 by 100 lot. Next, we also have to consider that being in Belmar and being along the Jersey Shore is you're gonna have some water near you. So anytime you're gonna be closer proximity to water, home values typically will increase. On top of that, if you have a water view or waterfront home, obviously that's going to bump up the value just as much. A water view is just being able to see the water from the house, like where the location's at. And then a waterfront home is going to be one of the ones you see on, like if you're in Belmar, that are directly across the street from the ocean and the boardwalk. So it's literally the very first home in a row of houses on the waterfront. So waterfront, water view, obviously jack up the value, and just the proximity a little bit closer. So obviously in Belmar, as you're getting closer, going block by block by block, theoretically the price for the house should increase. Obviously it's going to vary based on the size of the home, you know, just how updated it is, all that kind of stuff. But as you get closer and closer to the water, the home values do go up. As I mentioned a little earlier in the video, you're also going to be dealing with a large part of the tourism along the Jersey Shore, and Belmar is going to be no exception to that. So who are you really competing against when you're buying a home? Well, from the statistics that I found different websites, Belmar has about a 70% owner occupancy rate and a 30% rental rate. 30% rental might be annual, but a lot of the time you're dealing with a lot of shore rentals, Airbnb, maybe monthlies, something along those lines. Maybe just by week. What a lot of people do is they might rent out a beach house just for the week, for the month, or even for the whole summer. So you're looking at about 70% live there full time, whereas 30% live there just for a short period of time. All right, so finally, how much is all this going to cost you if you want to go live in Belmar? It's going to range pretty heavily based off like whether you're getting a condo, single family, or even adult community. There's only one adult community in the area, and I haven't even seen one of them for sale in a couple of years at this point. It's a townhome community off to the western part of Belmar. I think it's only about like 23, 25 units in there. That's pretty much the only adult community in the area. When it comes to condos, they're going to be kind of sporadically placed. You'll have some along the water side, some are going to be a little farther to the west. So the lowest priced unit sold for $255,000 last year. That was a one-bedroom condo off to the west side of Belmar. And then the highest price was a single family home about like 2-3 blocks off the beach, and that went for $2.85 million. So obviously a wide range there, and let's kind of break it down a little bit farther. So when you're dealing with the median sales price in Belmar, that's going to come in about $750,000. So that's going to be like your median sales. What I will say though is when you get into that 3 to 4 bedroom range, you're pretty much going to be looking at something like 900 or above. That's basically like that's going to be like the baseline for that style, that type of home. So on a little bit smaller end, you can get away with anywhere between about 5 to 8, 900,000. But if you want to go a little bit bigger in Belmar, it is going to cost you a little bit. Point number 5 is going to be different entertainment options in Belmar. Just kicking us off with the most obvious one, that's going to be Belmar Beach. This is going to be a big tourist attraction for a lot of people, or if you're just from the area or just maybe on the western side of Monmouth, this is also a pretty high destination area. I used to go there when I was growing up all the time, so quite familiar with it. If you're looking to get a daily pass, they're up to $12 now. If you're a kid under the age of 13, they get it for free. If you want a seasonal one, because you know you're going to be there quite often during the summer, $80 for a seasonal pass. But if you're over the age of 65, that is a discounted rate, and they get in for $32. If you're active military or a veteran, you get in for free. If you're active military, I know you can bring your family and any dependents, but if you're a veteran, I'm not so sure about that, so you just might have to check the website. Belmar Beach also isn't like any of the other ones in the sense of like with their boardwalk, most people are just going to be running or jogging, going for a walk on there. Whereas if you go down to like Point Pleasant or Seaside Heights, that's going to have a lot more games on there, an aquarium, amusement park, that kind of stuff. So Belmar is a little bit more low key and a vibe like that. You can head onto the beach and play some volleyball. They have spots to obviously go swimming in the ocean. They'll have designated spots for fishing and surfing. So it's a little bit different of an environment. Really family friendly though still, though nothing, nothing crazy or anything like that. But yeah, so just don't expect like over the top stuff with it. On the more adult side of the entertainment, Belmar has a pretty great nightlife, and you'll see a lot of people get a house for the summer there with a bunch of friends, and they'll go out quite often. One of the big bars in the area is going to be Bar Anticipation. This was my favorite one. It's also known as Bar A. On Tuesdays, they do a really fun special called Beat the Clock. So if you get in before 8 o'clock, there's no cover. If you get on after 8, you used to have to pay $10. I'm not sure if it's the exact same today or not. What they did was on there, they had Bud Light cups. I think they were only like 8 ounces or so, but they started off at 25 cents, and every hour they went up. So it went from 25 to 50 to 75 and just kept going up until the end of the night. So Bar A was definitely my personal favorite. I used to spend a lot of time over in Belmar growing up once I turned 21. Boathouse was another good one. DJ's is also a very fun one. I don't go there I never went there too often. It's kind of like a one and done for me, or maybe 2 times. But yeah, those are going to be your top 3 in the area. There are plenty of other different nightlife and bars in the area, but those are probably going to be your top 3 and most notable. Point number 6 is going to be different shopping and dining options in the area. So as you go out to the western side of Belmar, that's where you're going to have a lot of those options on Route 35 over there. Pretty much where Route 35 and 18th Ave intersect, that's going to be your big area. So you have ShopRite over there, Target, You have a Dollar Tree store, and you head over to Route 71, you have a CVS over there. Route 71 is also going to have a lot of different stores like boutiques, shopping, and that kind of stuff. When it comes to dining options in Belmar, it's literally unlimited. There are so many different things you can possibly get, from steak to a burger, seafood, Italian. It's unlimited. So you want to go over to Main Street over there. It's like the downtown area. You'll have some outdoor seating options too. One of my personal favorites is going to be Flames. It's going to be a Brazilian steakhouse. They do a rodizio style, so you can actually get a one price for the night, and then they come out on different skewers, different cuts of meats. You have to test them all and try them out. It's really good, really enjoyable, fun time out for the family, a little interactive as well. You can also head over to Haus Brewery if you want to go test out a couple different craft beers and just other beers in general that are brewed there. You can get over to Federici's for an Italian style dinner. They have really good thin crust pizza, so like the list goes on and on. Like I said, guys, you just have to Google it, and every restaurant's gonna pop up over there. Highly recommend checking out. The downtown area is really nice. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I really appreciate sticking around to the end. If you're looking to move to the Belmar area, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down below in the comments and description. Whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, it doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. Or if you're looking to move a different part of the Central Jersey area, feel free to check these 2 videos popping up here, and hopefully they help you out a little bit too. Have a great day.